Hi there. Welcome to the next edition of Business of Giving. I'm David Lichtman, Market President and Publisher of the Sacramento Business Journal. And I'm here today with Dr. Dawnté Early, President and CEO of United Way, California Capital Region. Welcome to Business of Giving.
Thank you so much. And thank you for coming to our home headquarters.
Yeah, it's very cool. I love the new color. I love the logos. Fantastic.
Yeah, it's branding, right?
I like that.
Yeah.
Dr. Early, your organization was recently named one of the fastest growing companies in the Sacramento region and the only nonprofit on that list. What do you think has been the driving force behind this incredible growth?
Absolutely. Well, one of the things we're really excited about, so thank you so much for even having an award like that. I think I had shared with you, it was one of my favorites. Number 18 out of 50 and the only nonprofit. I think part of that growth is that we saw, especially coming out of COVID, that there was a huge need within the community to really lean into educational impacts and how our kiddos were doing, housing issues. And we even actually put out, in partnership with Sac State, a survey across our 5-county region, asking individuals, what is it that you feel like your family needs right now? And we heard those needs, and then we began to step into what we said was the gap, the niche, and what people were feeling at that time. Despite the fact that in our region we have as many nonprofits as we have, it's important to United Way that we are able to not provide services that others are already providing, but instead to actually, again, fill in the gap. And so I think the community has come together. I think the community has rallied with us. I think businesses have also rallied with us. You know that we are actually finishing up our 3-year initiative to raise $3 million to help 10,000 kids excel in school. We actually were able to literally this week, we hit that $3 million mark, which is amazing, right? And we actually have exceeded those 10,000 kids. We've actually helped 15,000 kids plus, which is really important. And it was because of partnerships like this. It was because of our corporate partnerships. It was because of our individual donors and those partnerships that enabled us to do that. And I think that's what is behind us being one of the fastest growing companies in the past few years is, again, the belief that we need to come together collectively, united, and help those in need.
Well, that's a great story. Can you share a moment or story that really captures the impact your work is doing in the community?
Well, there are so many, particularly over the past few years. I know when we were here last year, we were talking about some of the programs that we had just had coming online. And I would say in the past 2 years, we've been able to help over 500 families actually find housing and keep that housing. We've been able to support kids in their education. And within our housing work, what we have seen are the story of Rosie, one of the very first families that we helped. And she had gone through, her and her fiance had gone through their savings, trying to find a new home for them and their young 2-year-old child. And when they came to us within 30 days, we were able to find them housing, find them a wonderful home, and make sure that they could have some of those bills paid and be secured. We have also heard from our guaranteed income former foster youth scholars who are at Sac State, also at UC Davis, and we've heard stories, even this past week, one of our students, one of our scholars said that she would have had to have dropped out had it not been for the guaranteed income dollars that she has. She's going to be graduating this fall, and we feel like we are changing lives, one student, one scholar at a time, and that's real transformation.
That's incredible. Those are great examples. You built some really powerful partnerships in business, media, nonprofit, foundation, and governmental sectors. How have these collaborations helped to accelerate all this impact that you're making?
Well, I think one of the things you'll see in United in our logo is a hand, right? It's a helping hand. And really what that represents is all of us coming together to make it possible for us to be able to support our community where they need. These partnerships, these collaborations have allowed things like us to expand our kinder camp, which is a 4-week program during the summer for kiddos who haven't had access to preschool to get them ready for kindergarten. That partnership has really been boosted by US Bank. And here's the thing, they don't only provide dollars, they provide volunteers as well. And so they come out and they support us during our graduation and our work, which is just amazing to be able to have a partnership that is there both funding wise, but also helping hand wise as well. We've had HealthNet, in which we are able now to expand our kinder camp to the Sacramento region, which is going to be amazing as well. One of the other partnerships that are so amazing that have allowed us to actually expand into Sacramento County are Dolly Parton Imagination Library program. This program is every kiddo 0 to 5 gets a book every single month, no matter their income. We've been doing this program in Yolo County for nearly 10 years, and it was because of our partnership with PNC Foundation. It was our partnership with the WSCOE, the Sacramento County Office of Education, City of Rancho Cordova, City of Sacramento, right? So many partners that enabled us to expand to City of Sacramento. And what's amazing, not only City of Sacramento, but Sacramento County, and what's really cool is that even though we just expanded this year, we're already at 5,000 kiddos who have signed up and are getting books mailed to their house right now.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
That's such a success story.
Yeah, and it's pretty amazing. What we heard from one family that had their kid in it from when they were infant all the way to when they were 5 is that mail day was their favorite day. They would get to go to the mailbox and then they would have a book in their name from Dolly Parton, right? And then they would pull it out the mailbox and then you're starting the love of reading on the right track, right? Sac State, as we've talked about, has been able to, through their Guardian Scholars Program, we've been able to support former foster youth who are going both to Sac State and to UC Davis, which has been an amazing partnership as well.
So when you talk about the helping hand, it's in a lot of cases, it sounds like it's not just money that they're handing to you.
Absolutely.
It's people, and people are exponential movers of the heart.
Absolutely. People, that is a perfect way of saying it, right? We are people powered. Our mission is ensuring all can thrive, right? By bringing the community together. Even our toy drive last year in our partnership with CBS, we were able to support over 300 families coming, providing toys, providing even just a surprise. We surprised them with $100 as soon as they walked in, because as their kiddos were going to be shopping for toys, parents needed some dollars too to be able to ensure food was on the table. We heard from families last year that these were going to be the only toys that were under their tree, and so they were so appreciative. Through our partnership with CBS this year, such as Great Clips, CBS, and some of our other ones, we were able to provide a school in Robla, Glenwood. Every single student that went to the school not only got a backpack, but they got all of their school supplies. Wow. And then we also were able to support 3 other schools in that. And again, these are things that we're just not doing ourselves. We're doing it all together. And that includes the Sac Business Journal.
Yeah. We do what we can.
Yeah.
We do what we can. You know, what I find most impressive is the pace at which you and your partners are moving, right? You launched Green Ambitions with Sierra Health Foundation, Congresswoman Matsui and Green Tech. Months later, 25 youth completed mentorship and green jobs training. Why is it so important to move so quickly and scale these programs with such urgency?
Yeah. I think for me, and we've talked about my story a little bit, I lived in poverty. I was a teen mom, utilized many of the services that many of our clients use now, including our own free tax prep program. I utilized that when I was a young mom. And what I say, and I think what our staff see as well, is right now the need is so great and we don't have the luxury of waiting because the people that need help also don't have the luxury for us to pause and wait. And so oftentimes we are pushing hard. We are wanting to make sure that we're moving fast because there are people right now who are living on the street. There are kids who are going hungry and aren't getting their school needs met because of that. And that's, I think, what we see in making sure that when dollars come in, we're immediately turning and ensuring that they are going to the kids and the families who need them. And so in the Green Tech, we were able to stand that program up as soon as we got those foundation funds, and in partnership with Sierra Health, with Green Tech, with Congresswoman Matsui, we were able to stand those funds up in that program within 12 months. And by the end of those 12 months, our kiddos had gone through mentorship, had gone through green jobs training, and what that looks like is those are the jobs of the future. And then they came back to the neighborhoods that they're from, and they put in charging stations, 2 charging stations, when there weren't charging stations within miles of that location in their neighborhoods. It's really amazing to be able to see when you believe and when you say, yes, we're going to do this, what's possible.
So on a personal note, do you think your experience in your past, having availed yourself of services gives you a unique ability to make decisions to allow you to move faster, as opposed to having to spend more time evaluating and thinking and hearing and collaborating. Do you think that adds to the speed?
I think it does. I think that my own lived experience and being in deep poverty and what that means to go hungry, what that means to, make sure your kid has a hot dog and you go to the mall, and that's your activity as you're watching others because you don't have enough to eat yourself. I think that informs how you are doing this work and your commitment to understanding what the people you are helping have actually gone through and are going through right now because you yourself have gone through it. I think many of our staff have those same stories and have that lived experience. I think that's why we all go above and beyond. I think that's why we lean in so hard, is because we see ourselves in the kids' faces that we help, and we see ourselves in the moms' faces that we help.
Yeah. Perspective.
Yeah.
Very strong perspective. So for those watching who want to get involved as a partner, as a donor, or as a volunteer, what's your message to them?
Call me.
I like that.
Yeah, pick up the phone. There's all kinds of ways to get involved. Obviously, we talked about funding, which is very, very important, particularly now with everything that is happening with funding around our country. But also there is simply volunteering. There's also connecting us to your network and your partners. And even more when we talk about the business community. If we're not doing it and you see that there's a need or you see that your organization wants to go that route, please think of us. Recently, we met with a corporate partner who's really committed and has strong, deep ties to this region. And they said, hey, we are needing additional workforce, right? But we want to make sure that we're getting that workforce locally as much as we can. And so they came to us and we said, okay, well, we can design something that ensures both, the families and the people who need these jobs, these really good paying jobs, have access and the training, while also ensuring that your company, right, has this pipeline and this talent pipeline. And so we also want to be thought partners with our corporations and with the businesses locally.
That's great. Thanks for watching another edition of Business of Giving. I'm David Lichtman with the Sacramento Business Journal and Dr. Dawnté Early with the United Way California Capital Region. Awesomeness.
Thank you.
Thank you for everything. That's great.